So back in May, a lot of people got the chance to jump in and try out the closed alpha test for Marvel Rivals, and just recently they did their closed beta test where a lot more people got to jump in. It was officially announced the game was coming to console, and so many people got to try it out. I know not everybody got in, and I know there's going to be some comment right now that's saying, caboose, I didn't end up jumping in and trying it out. I wish I did, and I'm sorry to those who didn't. If you're typing that comment, I apologize, but before you leave, just hit the thumbs up button. But now I feel like I've really soaked in and actually put in the amount of time that I feel comfortable with to actually give you guys my impressions, my review of Marvel Rivals so far. I did put a ton of hours into PC with the actual closed alpha test, but a majority of my time spent with this game was on console. I played it on my PS5, and I really enjoyed the time that I had with this game. Like, seriously, I'm getting withdrawals that the beta is gone. I want to play it again so bad. I'm itching to jump back in. To jump right into it, I feel like one of the biggest compliments that I can give to Marvel Rivals is that the gameplay, it's snappy, it's fun, and the characters, while they might seem to move slow, when you actually get into the midst of a battle, you can feel the tempo and the speed of this game. They do such a good job at blending characters that use projectiles like Punisher or Hela or even someone like Magneto to characters that are melee based like Black Panther, Spider-Man, or even the Incredible Hulk. It's really interesting how viable some of those melee characters are. You might think if you're going up against a Punisher and you're Spider-Man, you don't stand a chance. But no, in the right hands, if you understand how these characters work and how to use their movesets properly, a character like Spider-Man can be your most valuable player. A character like Black Panther can be like an unkillable machine. I think that is awesome for a game like this. It makes it so that there's a lot of variety. You're not just gonna have an entire roster of people that are shooting some sort of projectile. And yes, okay, to address the elephant in the room, there are some characters on the roster in this game that are very similar, sometimes almost even a one-to-one of other characters that have popped up in other hero shooters. But I will say the developers have done a really good job in Marvel Rivals at realizing these Marvel characters and making their movesets fit so perfectly in the environment of a third-person shooter. For pretty much every hero that I tried in both the alpha and the beta tests, I had this moment where I'm like, yep, that's exactly how that character should work within a third-person shooter. And like I said, you know, not every character on the roster is just straight up shooting stuff at you. So there's a lot of different characters that are melee-based that have a lot going for them. It makes me especially hyped for the future of Marvel Rivals because now the possibilities are endless. Characters like Wolverine could work really well in a game like this and can be melee based. A character like Deadpool totally fits something like this as well. I mean, he has guns, he's got swords. It's easy. There's so many different characters now in the Marvel Pantheon where you can think about how they would be slotted into Marvel Rivals, and it all works. It all would make sense. There are some characters I wasn't feeling like I was others. You know, like Thor just wasn't hitting for me the way that, say, Venom was. Like, Venom is my main right now. I know he's gonna catch a nerf by the time either like an open beta or the full game comes out, but when it came to this beta, he was the character I put the most time into. And Thor, while I was starting to get the hang of his gameplay loop and what exactly you need to do, it just felt a little clunky. But still, when I play as Thor, I'm like, this makes sense if Thor were to be in a game like this. And how can you not praise the visuals in this game? It is gorgeous. Marvel Rivals is easily one of the best looking superhero games out there right now. It's got this art style that's really unique, but also feels very familiar. A lot of these characters look how they should. They feature some of that iconography. Spider-Man looked a little weird in the alpha. They updated his design for the beta. He looks so much better. I'm a big fan of his suit. Characters like Venom look fantastic. Thor looks amazing. There's a lot of characters on this roster where they have these incredibly unique, brand new, fresh designs that we've never seen before, but man, oh man, do they fit the characters. I can't forget about Jeff. I mean, look at that. Look at this cute little guy. Protect him at all costs.
What the fuck? Oh my god! No! Baby shark!
And you know, the beta had that exclusive Cyan Clash Venom costume, very Marvel vs. Capcom 2 inspired. I was so hyped to be using that in game. And speaking of the alternate suits, you know, there's a lot that were available in the alpha and the beta that people were able to unlock. I don't know how it's going to work in the actual game. These are suits you're probably going to have to spend your real money on. But one thing that I really love about these alternate suits, when it comes to a suit that comes from the comic books, it lists for you, similar to the Guardians of the Galaxy game, where that suit first appeared in comics. It's just a great way to encourage people to want to jump in and check out the books of the origin story for these suits that they might really like. And yeah, this game is made on Unreal Engine 5. You know, the games industry has been really hyping up Unreal Engine 5. You know, Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra is being made on it. That's going for that ultra realism style, and it looks phenomenal for that. With this, obviously, they're not trying to go super realistic, but still, the colors pop. It's so vibrant and it's so detailed. And I feel like things like that you only get with Unreal Engine 5. So we gotta believe the hype at this point. Not to mention, you know, the destructible environments play a huge factor into the gameplay, and it also just really pops and looks super cool when you're destroying a massive statue or there's just tons of destruction in the area, and it's part of the gameplay. It's actually really integral sometimes. Is there a piece of cover that an enemy is hiding behind or could hide behind? Destroy it. Is somebody hiding from above, shooting down on you? Destroy the platform that they're standing on. All those sort of things really play well into the game, and I think it works so effectively. But if I do want to jump into one of my bigger gripes, the thing that I did have an issue with in Marvel Rivals, it's the team-up attacks. This is one of the features in Marvel Rivals that separates it from other hero shooters. You know, it makes it very unique in comparison to other hero shooters you might have played. Certain characters can team up and have certain abilities that are tied to another character. But therein lies my problem sometimes with the team up attacks, because a lot of the times the way it works is simply just have this one character, have this other character, and then that one character gets a new ability. So, you know, for instance, the best team-up attack probably in the game right now, the one that was getting banned constantly if you were in Diamond rank, is the team-up between Magneto and Scarlet Witch. The way it works is if you have a Magneto and a Scarlet on your team, Magneto now gets a new move. He gets this sword attack that increases his damage by like 50%. It's nuts. It takes him from like an A-tier Vanguard character to basically S+. But again, that's my issue. You know, all it comes down to is if there's a Scarlet and a Magneto, you got the team-up attack. There's nothing the Scarlet needs to do to provide you that team-up attack. In the reveal trailer that was shown to us all the way back in March, when they first showed off these team-up attacks, it was providing an example of Iron Man flying in the air, Hulk passing him the Gamma, and then him getting the Gamma upgrade. In the beta, it was reduced once again to being as simple as if you have a Hulk on your team and you're playing as Iron Man, you now have the Gamma upgrade attacks available. Rocket is a great example of what I'm looking for. Rocket could team up with Punisher and provide him unlimited ammo, but it's something that you strategically have to place on the ground for your Punisher. It makes it so that there's just a bit more thought going into it rather than just, you pick that character, I'll pick this other one, so you have the team up available. But hey, who knows? When the full game comes out, if there's a lot more characters added to the roster, maybe we're just gonna have the best of both worlds. Lots of team up attacks that require you to actually put some thought into it, and other team up attacks that are as simple as picking two characters that work well together. At the end of the day, this is really just a nitpick. I don't have many major issues with Marvel Rivals outside of maybe wishing that my teammates would pick healers when I'm in Plat 1 and I'm trying to get to Diamond. Top 500 in the world is Venom, by the way. And you know, if you want to see some Marvel Rivals gameplay on this channel from a top 500 player, maybe you got to subscribe and turn on those notifications. That's just me. Overall, there is a bright future ahead for this game. If it gets the right support post-launch, if there's new characters that are added, new stages, if they continue to work on balancing the game, you know, tuning some of the characters that are a little OP and bumping up some of the characters that might not be as good. And then, of course, if the esports scene is healthy and they provide a lot for people who want to play this game competitively, it'll have a very, very bright future, and it could be the brand new hero shooter that everyone is gravitating towards. I'd say there's a safe bet that Marvel Rivals is going to have an open beta or something of that sort before the end of the year. I wouldn't even be be surprised if the full game comes out this year. You gotta remember, the Game Awards have a deadline. Maybe they'd want to release Marvel Rivals before that deadline this year so that they'd have a chance at having Marvel Rivals be nominated for Best Multiplayer Game. I honestly think that this game would have a chance at winning Best Multiplayer Game this year if it did come out. It is, for me right now, the best multiplayer game that I've played so far this year, so I'm really looking forward to the full release. And with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Did you get a chance to jump into the beta for Marvel Rivals? What did you think about it? If you didn't get a chance, what do you think based on what you've seen online? I've been Caboose. I'll see you guys later.